World over, the civil service remains the bedrock and engine room of government. It serves as an indispensable partner at implementing the policies and programs of government, thereby enhancing the welfare and well-being of the people. In Ogun State, under the leadership of Prince NTA Abeokuta, the state civil service has witnessed remarkable strides in the area of welfare, capacity building, and digital transformation, making it one of the best civil service in the country. This year, like the previous, Ogun State government, through the Office of the Head of Service, commemorated the year 2026 Public Service Week in the state. The week-long celebration was designed to enhance the social, physical, and intellectual well-being of civil servants so as to improve civil and public service delivery in the state. This year's celebration themed Transforming the Public Service, Advancing Innovations, Accountability, Participation, and Inclusion commenced with a special Jumat service at the State Secretariat Mosque, NTA Abeokuta, followed by a Thanksgiving church service at the Governor's House Chapel, Abeokuta. The program also featured a health walk from the Ogun State Water Corporation headquarters to the State Secretariat, Abeokuta. There was also a Know Your Health Status diagnostic program, which was held at the Arcade Ground, Governor's Office, Abeokuta. This provides civil servants the opportunity to undergo various medical checkups in order to determine their health status. In addition, football matches and other indoor games were organized among workers across government agencies and parastatals as part of activities marking the celebration. The grand finale of the celebration was a symposium held at the June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta, which had in attendance government functionaries, civil and public servants, as well as critical stakeholders in the state workforce. Speaking at the event, the Ogun State Governor, Prince NTA Abeokuta, represented by his deputy, Engineer Noimot Salako-Yedele, explained the role of civil and public servants has continued to strengthen the administrative machinery of government, noting that the theme of the celebration calls for the restructuring of the civil service.
This celebration provides an important opportunity to reflect on and appreciate the invaluable contributions of our workforce while recommitting ourselves to the ideals of excellence, accountability, and effective service delivery. I wish to especially acknowledge the leadership of our public service, particularly the head of service, Mr. Olariwaju Saka, MNI, whose stewardship since taking over from his predecessor, Mr. Kehinde Onosanya, has continued to promote efficiency and discipline within the system. I thank you for aligning the public service with our vision and for your role in the successful implementation of our Building Our Future Together agenda. I also commend our esteemed permanent secretaries across all ministries, departments, and agencies for their cooperation extended to the head of service. Your collective efforts have strengthened the administrative machinery of our state and help to ensure that governance remains responsive and people-centered. As we navigate the complexities of the modern era, governance must continue to evolve to meet the rising expectations of our citizens. Today's society expects speed, transparency, innovation, and inclusiveness. The public service must not only adapt to these demands, but must also lead the transformation. The theme of this year's celebration, Transforming the Public Service, Advancing Innovation, Accountability, Participation, and Inclusion, is therefore both timely and compelling. It calls on us to re-examine the structures, processes, and culture of our service and aligns with our administration's vision under the Building Our Future Together agenda and the Ishaya developmental pillars.
Governor Abeokuta reiterated his administration's resolve to prioritize the institutional capacity of workers in the state.
Since the inception of our administration, we have prioritized reforms that strengthen the institutional capacity of the public service and created an environment that promotes efficiency, integrity, and innovation. We recognize that innovation is not always about reinventing the wheel. It is also about improving systems, simplifying processes, and embracing smarter ways of working. Ogun State has taken important steps in this direction through the deployment of digital solutions that improve transparency and efficiency. From payroll automation and e-governance platforms to investments in ICT training and digital tools, we are building a public service equipped to operate effectively in a modern administrative environment. Platforms such as the Ogun State Enterprise Geographic Information System and the Land Administration and Revenue Management System have improved land administration, reduced inefficiencies, and enhanced revenue generation. Similar technology continues to support the Ogun State Health Insurance Scheme in expanding access to affordable health care. We are equally mindful of the prevailing economic realities and pressures faced by our workforce. Our administration has therefore continued to take deliberate steps to support our workers. Recently, we approved the second phase of the payment of the 10,000 naira palliative to all civil and public servants, including our valued pensioners, as part of measures to cushion the effects of the current economic challenges. We also approved one work-free day for workers as part of our efforts to promote work-life balance and well-being. We believe that productivity is best sustained when workers are physically energized, mentally refreshed, and able to perform their responsibilities in a supportive environment.
The governor spoke further on his administration's continued commitment to civil and public servants in the state.
Our commitment to workers' welfare is also reflected in the prompt payment of salaries and pensions, settlement of outstanding obligations, subsidized health insurance, housing initiatives such as the bureaucrat's estate, improved loan schemes, and continuous capacity building programs. Career progression is equally important. We have sustained training programs, promotion exercises, and professional development initiatives to ensure that merit, competence, and dedication are appropriately recognized. Therefore, in line with our commitment to fairness and career progression within the system, I hereby direct the Civil Service Commission to commence the process for the promotion exercise of officers due for both the 2025 and 2026 promotion cycles. Diligence, competence, and years of service must be appropriately recognized and rewarded as and at when due. Beyond the welfare of our public servants, the public service remains central to our achievements in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and economic development. From road construction and industrial expansion to educational reforms and healthcare delivery, public servants translate the policies and programs of government into tangible outcomes for our people. As we work to complete projects of significant value to the people of Ogun State, our administration will also complete, furnish, and fully equip the large office complex located beside the House of Assembly complex before the end of our tenure. As we look to the future, our objective is clear. By the grace of God, we intend to hand over a stronger, more efficient, and better equipped public service to the next administration.
In his own remarks, the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tokunbo Talabi, urged civil and public servants in the state to embrace innovation and have trust in the system.
No matter what you do in anything big, and nobody is looking for a giant leap or a big step. Just look at a small advancement and consolidate it. Then do another small advancement and consolidate it. Now, everybody's going on training. You now know that where I come from, if you do an exam and you fail, it's not even an issue of whatever. Your promotion is stepped down immediately. But this one is not even like that. It's too much for that. Just pass as the cutoff mark. Go and learn how to pass and do all that. So, whatever we want to do, when we talk about innovation, I think the fundamental is first trust in the system. Whatever you do, have faith in yourself, have faith in the system. When we come to face ourselves and say, look, this is the direction that we want to go, and we would like you to be thinking about it and bring forth your own. Most of the people who stop innovations are people who are not confident in themselves, and they think that the status of authority will be lost if they allow people under them to innovate. No. You may not stand out as the most brilliant person, but you must be the most productive person. And what is lacking in civil service sometimes is trust. You know, it's not good for you alone to be the one talking, but give me a position that reflects everybody around you so that all of you can own it together. So that when I ask them, they will own it. So I'm giving him a charge to say, go back, make sure you get everybody's input. When you come back here and I ask your subordinate a question, let him not give me a divergent disposition. That's part of how to endanger trust.
Earlier in his opening remarks, the Ogun State Head of Service, Mr. Olanrewaju Saka, emphasized that the significant contributions of civil servants has kept governance alive in the state.
This celebration is particularly significant, and as it celebrates the indispensable officers to promote good governance and sustainable governance. However, this celebration cannot be accurate without a profound gratitude to our workers, friendly government, His Excellency Abeokuta, on his unwavering commitment to strengthening the multi-state service through strategic reforms, improve staff welfare, institutional development, and sustain investment in modern governance systems. The civil service attention, it will not be appropriate for me to keep this celebration without recognizing the pillars of governance, custodians of integrity, and the department workforce of state officers, our public servants, who are the salient threats behind the policy that was here in the state. We have seen us behind the progress we celebrate, and they don't life that keeps the machinery of governance alive. In our daily sacrifices, in our so great people want to support it, and in our commitment, even when the odds are doubted. We define the jubilee of service to humanity. We are not just employees of government. We are the heartbeats of our collective destiny.
Stakeholders in the civil and public service sector delivered their remarks in goodwill messages.
I'm a die-in-the-wool civil and public servant because I spent the entire of my professional civil service career in the civil service. So I know what it is to be a civil servant. And I understand the complexities, the intrigues, and the challenges of working in the civil service, especially at the top level. It's been said that any political office holder will neglect the civil public service to their own peril. Without the civil and public servants, the political office holders cannot do anything. I only want to urge all the civil and public servants in the state to keep working very hard, to keep supporting this government, to keep holding the banner high and not allow the light to be extinguished. And I'm sure that in due time, every one of you, including me, us, as I am still one of you, will reap the benefit of our service into our dear state, Ogun State.
The theme for this year's celebration, that is transforming the public service, advancing innovation, accountability, participation, and inclusion, is both timely and profound. It reinforces our shared commitment to building a public service that is not only efficient and transparent, but also dynamic, technology-driven, and truly responsive to the needs of our citizens. Transformation cannot happen in isolation. It requires robust statutory backing, forward-thinking policy frameworks, and adequate budgetary support. The Ogun State Civil Service has consistently set the benchmark for professionalism, competence, and dedication in Nigeria. This stellar reputation is a direct result of the resilience and hard work demonstrated daily by our public servants across all ministries, departments, and agencies.
Let us enjoy the grand finale of the Public Service Week. I have the opportunity of watching since you started. I I must say that I'm very, very proud of you. And I want you to continue to do what you know best to do. You are the engine room, and as such, you must continue to do that. Be hardworking, be resilient, and make sure that you are not found wanting on any side when a job is to be done. The public service must always show the way when any government comes into power, because we are supposed to be apolitical. So you serve the government of the day to the best of your ability.
I must from the outset appreciate greatly His Excellency Prince Dr. Abeokuta, the Ogun State Governor, for approving this year Public Service Day lecture. The current administration in its efforts at sustaining the tenets and qualities of the state public service has been reviewing the public service instruments along with training and retraining of its workforce for improved service delivery. The theme for today's public discourse, transforming the public service, advancing innovation, accountability, participation, and inclusion, is timely, apt, and instructive. Together, we will collaborate to transform the public service to the aspiration of our forebear by way of innovation and impartation of requisite skills to reach the goal of excellent service delivery.
We celebrate this day just to come together, fraternize together, and marry in our own little way as the engine room of government. There is a need for us to commend the current administration regarding the welfare, training, and retraining of workers. On CPS, Your Excellency, as the bridge between the government and the public servants, I want to inform you that public servants in Ogun State are yet to accept the contributory pension scheme fully, just because of the gray areas identified by the workers. We will want the government to look into this and review the implementation. We will want the government to also improve the welfare of workers in the state and also improve on the working environment in the various ministries, departments, and agencies.
Delivering his keynote address on the theme, Transforming the Public Service, Advancing Innovations, Accountability, Participation, and Inclusion, the president of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, Malam Ahmed Goberu, spoke on the ideals of technological innovations in the civil service.
The public service is where policy meets real life. In other words, government is an idea. Public service is its experience. And that experience matters enormously. Transformation, they say, is when an institution becomes measurably better at fulfilling its purpose. Technology can enable transformation. But technology cannot compensate for an institution that has not transformed its thinking. You cannot digitize dysfunction and call it transformation. A digital system with analog thinking is still an analog institution. A slow process does not become an efficient process simply because it is moved online. A complicated form, and I know we love to fill forms in the civil service, does not become a better form because it can be completed on a phone. The real test of transformation is not whether we have adopted new tools, but whether citizens experience a better government because we did. We must move from asking, how have we always done this, to what problem are we trying to solve? And is this still the best way to solve it? That, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is the beginning of innovation. Innovation, properly understood, is not the worship of novelty. Innovation is the courage to improve what people have learned to tolerate. That distinction is very important. Sometimes the most innovative thing a government can do is not to create another institution. It is to remove the unnecessary steps existing in the process. The objective should be to make bureaucracy better at serving the citizen, and that is a profound distinction. The citizen should not have to become an expert in government processes simply to access a government service. Government should be designed around the needs of the citizen, not around the convenience of our institutions.
He noted that innovations must be implemented to address the current realities of the civil service.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are entering a period in which the nature of public administration itself is changing. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, speaking on Public Service Day this year, observed that climate change, conflict, and artificial intelligence are reshaping the world, and he stressed that institutions must be innovative and must be ready to adapt while ensuring that digital technologies are deployed ethically and effectively. Innovation must change the method. Do not merely digitize the old process, redesign it completely. Accountability, which is the second word in the theme, must change the culture. Do not merely report what was spent, demonstrate what was actually achieved with the spend. Participation, which is the third word, must change the relationship. Do not merely speak to citizens, listen to them before designing for them. And inclusion must change the architecture. Do not ask whether everyone is theoretically eligible. Ask whether everyone can practically participate. That is inclusion. And underneath all four of these is one word: leadership. In my view, the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, is providing that leadership.
The Public Service Symposium also featured panel discussion from different speakers across the divide. Some civil servants bore their minds on the symposium.
The theme innovation accountability is actually as a function of the United Nations being organized through the world. So in Nigeria, in Ogun State, we are also observing it. It comes up on June 23rd of each year. So here in Ogun State, we are grateful to His Excellency, Prince Dapo Abiodun CON, for granting this year's approval as usual. And here we are happy, we are celebrating. So my message is we shouldn't rest as public servants. We should not rest on our hours. We should keep on striving. We should keep on building our capacities. And we should leave enduring legacies for officers coming behind us.
It is very educative, and it opens our mind to the need for us to continue to embark on transformation of the civil service processes, innovation. With this lecture, we were more convinced that as public servants, we still have a lot to do. We still have a long way to go towards ensuring that the future is better than what it is today. Most especially when you are talking of all these changes globally. Public servants should be ready to make sure that when those changes come, even those that are yet to come, we should be ready that whenever it comes, we won't be found wanting.
Transformation in the civil service, the fact that we need to put a lot of things into place. We can't say because everything has gone digital. We're not to forget that this message has to get to the grassroots. It has to get to people who are not opportune to be exposed to the internet and the so-called civilized world. We need to kind of reform. Of course, we need to put in more dedication, commitment. We need to upgrade and as well give our total dedication to the success of the civil service as a whole.
We really need to make our services computerized. It's not nice when we have to have our documents on paper only. They are not being documented somewhere else. Anything can happen. Fire can break out, water, rain, a building can be destroyed and all those things are gone like that. So I would just appreciate if the government can actually do something for us to help us digitalize all these documents so that for future purpose, so that they can be get in touch easily.
The year 2026 Public Service Week celebration serves as a clarion call to all civil and public servants in the state to drive innovation, transformation, and participate in implementing policies aimed at meeting the needs of the people. Meanwhile, the bigger responsibility lies on the government to create an enabling environment for public service to thrive effectively in line with best global practices. This will therefore bring about all-round development to all and sundry. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, àjọṣe gbogbo wa ni.